So about a while ago I talked about the M1 prepaid 100 gig SIM and I said I would do a review on the Singtel one. This is my review of the Singtel prepaid SIM card Tourist SIM. So first of all, the Singtel SIM does seem like the better deal. Currently, for what they call a limited time only, if you pay $15, you get 7 days of validity, 100 gig of data, unlimited social apps which is like Facebook, WhatsApp, WeChat, Line I think? Yeah, Line supported as well. 500 minutes of local calls and 100 text messages local, and you get also 30 minutes international calls. And then if you set up to the $30 one, you get 10 days instead. You get the same 100 gig of data, but you get unlimited text and calls and 90 minutes of international calls. And this is the killer one. You get 2 gigs of data for international roaming, be it in Malaysia or Singapore and Australia and Indonesia. And you get free Singtel Wi-Fi for whatever that's worth. But you're not here to hear me ramble about the things you can easily find on our website. You're here to learn about my experience of using this as a data-heavy user. So first of all, Singtel has a 4G LTE advanced network, which I can use on the SIM card on my Xiaomi phones. I have never gotten my Xiaomi phone to connect to LTE advanced, so in theory, it can be faster. But by default, you don't always get LTE coverage. Now on the M1 SIM, you'll always be connected to LTE until you start downloading something heavy for like 10 seconds or so and like peak bandwidth, then it drops to 3G. Singtel card a bit different. You're not always on 4G. It seems to be based around how heavily the network is being used at the moment. There's a lot of heavy traffic on the network surrounding area. So I'm not talking about how much you're using the card at the moment, I'm talking about your surrounding Singtel friends. If there is a lot of data usage, you seem to be dropping down to 3G on this thing. So it's very hard to predict if you'll be on LTE or 3G, at least by default. Thankfully, there is a way around that, which is to force your phone to only connect to LTE networks. So on Xiaomi devices, you have the option to like do LTE only, and once you set it in that mode, the phone will basically just stick to LTE and you will get, in theory, super blazing fast speeds all the time. So unfortunately, once you do that, you do lose voice because Xiaomi phones aren't supported from voice over LTE, at least in Singapore. No, it's not always the case. I find that with this, there is a bit of throttling that Singtel still does, even if it says you're on LTE, but generally throughput speeds are very, very fast. That being said, I don't find this as reliable as the M1, and the M1 does drop here and there. I find in terms of latency wise, the M1 is faster. So for example, I pull up the YouTube app and I start scrolling. I find that even though in theory the Singtel one is faster, the M1 one sometimes load things a bit quicker. It is noticeable, but I still like the fact that this one is constant LTE, and I actually like this better than the M1 one because I can force this to stick with LTE versus the M1 one. And also this lasts 7 days, and you can also extend the validity of the period of this just by using the Singtel app that you can download from the Play Store or the App Store. It costs $3 per day, so it's still cheaper to buy a new card every time, but it's really hard to find this card. I have been having lots of issues trying to find stock for this card, which is a shame. And also last time for this card, the validity of this was the day you activate was day 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it basically kind of is an 8-day card. But recently, I think within the last month or so, 3 weeks or so, they have changed the behavior of this to be like the first day you start it is day 1. So that's kind of annoying. But hey, it's still longer than the M1 one. I'm not sure if that affects the M1 prepaid SIM as well. I haven't used that in a while. We'll see. So do I recommend this one over the M1 one? Yes, I do like this better. I do like it's more constant-ish. I do like that if you're willing to sacrifice phone calls, you can just activate it to LTE only. I like that you can extend it easily. I like that it lasts longer. So yeah, I like this a lot. Now, Singtel has said that the 100 gig offer is temporary, and if you look on the card even, it says 4 gigabytes. We'll see how long that lasts. M1, step your game up, yo! So thank you guys so much for watching this little update on the $15 SIM card. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more videos like this, because it's not typical that you see people reviewing SIM cards. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Here we go. It's all about about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe.